Hello everyone, SirMonkeySuit is Abby here, back again with Hunter x Hunter. We're on episode 101, and in the last couple episodes, we finished off the last episode with Killua hunting down some dude. Little did we know that he was actually being used as a host by some octopus creature. Of course, being a Chimera ant, though it is a bit of an odd one because, at least with the other Chimera ants, there was always some kind of humanoid aspect to them, whereas this one is literally just an octopus. I mean, I suppose there's nothing to really say that it is a Chimera ant, though it is, though, isn't it? I mean, but then, you know, the fact is that because it's not sort of humanoid, that it's sort of taken traits to it like another degree, sort of down a route that we haven't really seen before. But anyway, yeah. So that guy's name is Ikalgo, and yeah, it was cool just seeing Killua. Just use his speed to his advantage and not let the guy get away. That was really cool. So yeah, I mean, that was pretty much all that happened that was of note last episode. I mean, I suppose Leol, the lion, once known as Hagia, blowing smoke up Chitu's arse, basically lying to him, just trying to get him on side so he would do things for him and stuff like that. Being a traitor to the likes of the Royal Guards and the King and whatnot, even though the Royal Guards already know what's up. They already know that exactly what Leol's trying to do. So yeah, they're just going to use them and then toss them away like a fucking wet flannel, I'd imagine. We also have Netero, who's charging up at the moment still, and that is the reason why it's taken a while, I believe, to, basically for the whole plan and shit like that. The East Goto is under martial law, and what's his name? Malarion, or Malarion, however the fuck you pronounce that guy's name, the chameleon Chimera ant, has somehow teamed up with Gon, and I don't know how the fuck that happened, but it did. So it's just a question of whether we trust the chameleon or not, and really we shouldn't be trusting him, but we'll see what happens regardless with that. And yeah, I don't think there's anything else to really talk about, so we're going to get in episode 101 and see what we get. So without further ado, let's go. Okay, episode 101. Jeez. It almost feels like that could have easily been just like an OVA because of the sheer craziness of what the hell just went on. That was nuts. Ikalgo is great. I love him. I hope nothing happens to him. I want him to be around forever. God. The first thing I wrote down was Ikalgo is an idiot. Because because he failed to I guess change his communication from talking like normally to being using that telepathy to be able to communicate with the other Chimera ants. But fucking hell, I was interested in this episode. For the little time, the short amount of time that we got with Gon this episode, it's like it's interesting to see Killua actually save Ikalgo, which I was just not expecting. But I mean, when Ikalgo literally chopped off his own limb to fall, I was actually sad. I was actually sad, and I don't know why. Basically knowing him for no time at all. I'm not even counting the host thing because the host was it's almost like a different thing. But when he became an octopus, it's almost like his personality sort of changed slightly. And it took no time at all for me to actually care about the octopus. I like him. I like Ikalgo. He's funny. But yeah, I mean, Killua saving him, and just basically because he's a cool guy. Because I completely understand, because he is a cool guy. But I wasn't expecting Killua to save him though. And it's a good thing he did as well, because if he hadn't have, he would have been fucked. He would have been screwed. Like, Killua would have actually died there if he didn't save him. But yeah, the back to the point I was trying to make. Like, it's interesting the short amount of time that we got to spend with Gon. It's almost like opposite characters. Like Killua would have been the one to sit there and, you know, give like Malerion like the old, like serious, you know, like I'll kill you if you try anything kind of thing. Whereas Gon would have most likely been the one to save the octopus. So it's interesting how like they had swapped there. But yeah, I mean Killua ended up becoming a fucking pincushion. He's been absolutely decimated these past 2 episodes. Jeez, like how many times was he punctured there? God, yeah, that was a tough one to take. Like if he had died there, I mean, I honestly I knew that he wasn't going to, but fucking hell, like if he did, I would have been so disappointed. I probably would have stopped watching the show if he died at that. That would have been the most anticlimactic character death of all time if that had happened. A good thing it didn't. So yeah, he took one of the suction cups. Makes sense now what he was saying no point saving what's left. If I pick my brain, I mean that's the problem, is that when I'm watching things within the reaction, I don't have time to sit there and contemplate what the fuck he's talking about, because there's already more stuff happening and I need to take in what else is going on in the episode. So yeah, but I guess I just didn't think that he'd kept a hold of some of the tentacles and whatnot. Well, I guess it makes sense because he would have to get out of there somehow, right? And I guess using the tentacles to sort of jump back up and suction his way up, I guess he would have had to have done that. So I guess it makes sense. So yeah, interesting. He could use his electricity for to increase his reaction speed. That's nuts. I guess it gets to the point where it's not really. Well, it's kind of interesting to sort of. It's an interesting discussion because I guess you could say that it's him, like he is consciously using it, but the way that it was being described is almost like it was like subconscious reaction speed. But then again, if you are your brain, then technically, you know what I mean? I guess it was like premeditated. So I guess in that way you could call it conscious and not subconscious. But just the way that they were talking about it, like, you know, like it was set so that as soon as there was contact made, the electricity, like going from the sort of like the nerve of where it hit, would go around immediately, causing Killua's hand to, you know, snatch it out of the air. So yeah, it was that's great. So I'd imagine well, I don't know actually, because if he has to go into that sort of state where he needs this more reaction speed, then I guess he could use it. I guess it's all about like learning to use it maybe on the fly. I was just thinking maybe because he was sitting still that he would possibly have to focus on it and he wouldn't be able to sort of move around while doing it. But if he can train that and use his electricity, you know, while moving. Although I imagine when he's sort of using it anyway, it'd be interesting if you could use it like Midoriya from My Hero Academia and just like have it on like the whole time whilst fighting. Because if that's the case, then you just increase your reflex speed over the course of a whole fight if you can keep it up. But it is Nen, and he has to use his aura to keep it up. So I guess it's just one of those things where, you know, you'll need to train at it. But you know, just give Killua more speed. You know what I mean? Because if there's anything that he needs, it's more speed. For fucking hell, he mastered darts at the age of 6. Of course he did. Because why wouldn't he? I mean, that was ridiculous. I was saying during the action, I can't believe he literally counted down everything, like all of the points, so that he would figure out where the last dart had to go. It's fucking crazy. But it's weird the way that it works. I mean, that whole Nen thing is ridiculous. the whole dartboard thing and how the way it was being described is so odd. Because if the last... So it can't be removed until the end of the game, right? And the guy has to... He has to hit the final dart in the right place. Because if he doesn't, then it backfires and they get it. But that doesn't... Surely that doesn't mean that the target is going to die, right? So Killua, for instance, if he had to get like a double, what's at the bottom of the board? 18. Is it 18 at the bottom of the dartboard? I don't know. I think it is. But so for instance, right? If the final dart throw had to, because obviously it has to be a double, right? So if it was double somewhere at the bottom of the board, there's nothing to really say that would outright kill the person, right? Unless it's because of the way that I don't know. Because at the end of the day, it's just a weird power anyway. So I don't know if the last dart could do something to I don't know. It sends some signal up to the target's brain and shuts it off, regardless of where the last dart hits, as long as it hits the right place. But I don't know. When the narrator was talking about the the damage would sort of backfire on the siblings if he hit the wrong point. That the damage would he basically called it damage, so he didn't really say that it would come back and kill them, I guess. Though I only believe that Killua survived that long because it was Killua. If any other if any character that really didn't mean that much had suffered that much damage, I feel like they would have died a long time ago. He got punctured so many times, man. So many times. Even before that, Ikalgo was firing the fucking flea thing, and he was being punctured then as well. So much blood lost, man. I mean, this has put a dampener on Killua's plan of going around and causing chaos and trying to stop the whole massacre thing. So, because I mean, even now he's just gonna have to rest until his blood count gets back up. I hope that my mic audio is fine, because I keep looking at it and it keeps maxing out, and I don't know why it's done that. It's weird. I may have to reset my PC and fucking make sure all the connections are right on the microphone, because it keeps maxing out. But I do a test thing for every record, or basically every recording session I do, just so I can test the audio and whatnot. And it seemed alright, but it's never done that before. I'll just have to wait and see. I'll have to see. Hopefully it isn't fucked, because obviously I can only do a reaction once. But yeah, if it is sort of a bit blown out, then I do apologise. But there's nothing I can do about that. So yeah, I mean, the only other thing I guess I've got left to talk about was the last fight that basically Killua, before he died, said it's a shame because the last fight gave me a hint to become stronger. Now, when he said that, my first thought was he literally just come up with on the spot the electricity to get reflex, to get his reaction speed up, and that's what he was talking about. I'd imagine that's what it is, but I just thought I'd talk about it anyway, just in case it was something different. And if I hadn't talked about it, I would have been annoyed. But so I was just putting that out there just in case, it means something different. But I do think he's talking about the using his electricity power to increase his reaction speed, and that makes him that'll give him an edge later on. If that is the case, and he did say that, then it's quoted, meaning that he will use it later on. But, you know, we'll have to wait and see about that. But that is all I've got for this episode. It was just a crazy episode. Like, if it hadn't had any things to continue the plot points with, like, the guy in the you know, whatever the fuck he is, the weird dragonfly dude in the sky, and the little bit of interaction between Gun and Malarion, then I would have said that this episode was a fucking OVA, just because of how crazy it was. But yeah, that's all I've got for this episode. So thank you everyone for watching. In the description below, I've linked certain things. One of them is the Discord, so you can get yourself over there. And I also have a Patreon page as well. So if you do want to support me on Patreon, that'd be very much appreciated. There is a bunch of different tiers and rewards depending on how much you want to support me with. So there's the early access tier, $5 a month, gives you access to shows a week early, and you get 4 episodes of Hunter x Hunter every week. That's 2 on Monday and 2 on Friday. So by the time this episode comes out on YouTube for the general public, you can go and become an early access tier patron and have access to like the rest of the show in reactions. So if you can binge watch the rest of the show within a month, it's only going to cost you $5 for the rest of the show. So pretty good deal. There's also $10 there for full length. Doesn't matter for this show, but for other shows you will need it. And then there are other tiers where you can pay to have certain shows reacted to. So if you want me to react to a show, then go have a look at those tiers and see what they offer. But that is all I've got. So thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.